around the world as the leader in sports television. With the weather relenting, Game 5 of the National League Championship Series was finally played yesterday at Shea Stadium. Dwight Gooden, 21-year-old superstar, pitching for the New York Mets. And the 39-year-old legend Nolan Ryan pitching for the Houston Astros. It was a memorable duel that lasted through 9 innings with a score tied 1-1. In the 12th inning, still 1-1, Charlie Kerfeld in relief of Ryan. Wally Backman, a sharp single off third baseman Denny Walling with 1 out. Kerfeld trying to hold Backman close with Hernandez at bat for New York. Threw wild to first. Backman advancing to second. After walking Hernandez intentionally, Gary Carter came to the plate with the rally caps in place in the Mets dugout. Only 1 hit in 21 at-bats. Bottom of the 12th inning. 1 out. 1-1 tie. Charlie Kerfeld and Gary Carter dueling here. Up the middle, base hit. Backman turns third. Hatcher's throw, no play. Easy for Backman. Carter wins it with his second hit of the series, and the Mets win the ball game in 12-2-1. And so we are back in the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. As Davey, the 1986 National League Championship Series. Game 6 between the New York Mets and the Houston Astros. The Mets leading 3-2. And I think you can expect the crowd at the Astrodome in Houston to be at a new noise level for this ball game. They know well their team's posture, and the home crowd is certainly going to be all over umpire Fred Brocklander because of this call in the second inning of yesterday's ball game. An out at first base, completing a double play that cost the Astros a run. And Fred Brocklander today is scheduled to be back at the plate calling the balls and strikes. And the crowd will have their say because that was obviously in every angle that we had a safe man at first base instead of the out that set in motion, costing the Astros the run. Now, Tim McCarver, let's talk about this ball game. The first one in this series, which could mean an end to the series.
Well, remarkably, Keith, the momentum has really shifted with every pitch, with every inning, and with every ball game. And the Astros are playing at home. Of course, advantage, however, New York Mets, because the Mets have to win one of two. The Astros have to win both games. But if the Mets lose today, decided advantage Astros, because Mike Scott will be pitching tomorrow night.
Both managers are going with right-handed lineups today because there are two left-handers pitching, Bob Ojeda for the Mets and Bob Nepper for the Astros. Let's talk about these lineups from the right side. First, the Mets.
Kevin Mitchell and Tim Tuffle inserted in there. Kevin Mitchell, okay, you don't lose a lot in defense in left field. A little speed with Mookie Wilson. But Tim Tuffle, you saw how important the turn of the double play was yesterday, and Tuffle does not turn the double play as well as Wally Backman. The Houston Astros, on the other hand, strengthening their defense with Dickie Thon and Phil Garner.
And indoors at the Astrodome makes it a big ballpark. Defense is so important, especially when you have come to this point in a best of 7.
I think one of the key points today, and certainly a factor in the ball game, could be the lights in the Astrodome, and we're playing it in the daytime. The ball much harder to pick up in the daytime than at night here.
All right, we're ready for Game 6, with the Mets leading the Astros 3-2.
This ABC's Sports Exclusive is brought to you by the Heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet, by Coors and Coors Light, beers with a difference worth tasting, by the U.S. Armed Forces, it's a great place to start, and by Visa, accepted worldwide for shopping, dining, and travel. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Around here, raisins are big business. So when Kellogg started putting 2 scoops of raisins in the Raisin Bran, I knew we had problems. It's simple. The law of raisins. You put 2 scoops in each box. You sell more boxes. Bam! Raisin shortage. I respect Kellogg's, but that's a lot of raisins. You know what I tell people? You got a backyard? Plant raisins.
Fiber-rich Kellogg's Raisin Bran. 2 scoops is a lot of raisins.
What a runaround. They fix it 5 times. It still stalls. They say not when they drive it, but leave it a week and they'll look at it. I've got a headache this big, and it's screaming for Excedrin.
Excedrin, the headache medicine. Regular strength pain relievers give you only this much medicine, but Excedrin gives you this much more. Nothing proven stronger without a prescription.
I had a headache this big, but I took Excedrin, and it's gone.
Excedrin from Bristol Myers. Excedrin, the headache medicine.
Not everyone got a vacation this summer.
I need a vacation. What do you need, some glasses? How many fingers can you see? Huh? I need a vacation.
Against left-hander Bob Knepper, who had a no decision in game number 3, pitched 7 innings, was tagged for 4 runs. The big hit in that group from Darryl Strawberry, it was a 3-run homer. Kevin Mitchell will follow Wilson and then Keith Hernandez. And the crowd reacting on every pitch in this ball game insofar as the Astros are concerned. Knepper on his career against New York, 11-11. Now back, the opera buff seemed quiet, seemed calm, but so determined as he sat today in the clubhouse. There's the New York lineup, and it's pretty much the same lineup that those who follow the New York Mets would know when a left-handed pitcher is on the mound. Knepper strikes out Mookie Wilson. He is jacked up. I don't know I've ever seen Bob Knepper quite as reactive off the first out. The defense, Cruz, Hatcher, Bass outside. Inside, Davis, Doran, Thon, and Garner. That's the change on the left side because Ojeda, the left-hander, is pitching for New York, and Ashby remains back of the plate. Kevin Mitchell, 2 for 4 in the series, and the only game in which he has been at bat was in the game 3 when Knepper was the pitcher. 1 down for New York, and foul straight back. Knepper, good night's rest, he said, came on the early flight home, while Bob Ojeda traveled on the New York Mets charter. So Ojeda got to bed a little later than did Knepper.
And Bob Knepper working on 3 days rest. He is 14-5 with an excellent 2.17 ERA over the last 3 years and 32 starts with 3 days rest.
Back 2 on Mitchell.
So it would help a guy like Bob Knepper, who is not a hard thrower, more than it would help a hard thrower and a power pitcher like Mike Scott. A lot of times a spot pitcher or a guy who works to the spots, works hitters inside and out, is much better with 3 days rest than a power pitcher.
The 2-strike pitch to Mitchell. 1-2. Umpires, as we said, Fred Brocklander is behind the plate, and he's the man who made the call that upset the whole of the Houston area yesterday in New York. Doug Harvey at first, Lee Wire second, Frank Pulley third, left field line Dutch Rennett, right field line Joe West. Foul back, and the count continues 1-2.
The Houston Astros try to keep the ball in on Kevin Mitchell. Now, that does not mean that you have to set up inside and throw everything inside. But when you are decisive with one pitch and you want to get a hitter out with that one pitch, inside is the place to go.
Count is 1-2. High chopper, Bill Garner, third baseman, 2 down. Now it is Keith Hernandez for the Mets with 2 out. Listening to the Houston radio around town this morning, some of it was just hilarious. They've already got a song written about Brocklander.
quick sketch, huh?
Oh, me. But I also get the feeling that the city and the people who have valuable tickets to the ball game today are determined to prove to the New York faithful they too can be loud and supportive. To Hernandez. High, ball one.
The Houston fans down here in Houston defying the local economy and buying tickets like oil were $40 a barrel.
Keith in the series, 6 hits and 19 trips to the plate. 2 runs batted in. He was 2 for 4 against Napa in Game 3. That's a bouncing ball that is foul at first base. Gary Carter, the man who won the ball game yesterday for New York with that single up the middle in the bottom of the 12th inning, is on deck.
The one thing a left-handed hitter tries to do against a left-handed pitcher is keep his front shoulder in there. You thereby become more vulnerable to the ball inside. That's why Nepper tries to work Hernandez inside.
Struck him out looking. So Bob Nepper strikes out 2 of the first 3 Mets he faces. No score, top of the first. The Astros coming up.
Elvira and Mistress of the Dark. I mean, here I am stocking up for Halloween. I got my steak, got my ribs. Then when I ask the stock boy where the Coors Light is stacked, he points me to the Coors and Coors Light Halloween display, and I'm on it. Whoa, it's like deja vu. Whoa, it's like deja vu. Look for it where you buy beer. I shop here because they slash prices. There goes another one. Happy Halloween, darling.
The batting order for the Houston Astros today, we'll have Bill Doran leading off, playing second base. Billy Hatcher, center field, batting second. There's the lineup. Followed by Phil Garner, who is the insert in the right-handed lineup, playing third base, hitting third. Then Glenn Davis, Kevin Bass, Jose Cruz, Alan Ashby. Dickie Thon, the shortstop today, will hit number 8. And he's in there because of this man on the mound, Bob Ojeda. Bob Ojeda went the distance in Game 2, won it 5-1. He scattered 10 hits. He struck out 4, walked 2. He had 2 double plays behind him. And the double plays, very important for a man who pitches like Bob Ojeda. Couple is a change at second base today for New York. Mitchell in left field a change, and Wilson moves over to center field. But I think if you see the Mets get to a lead, you'll see Dykstra in center field rather quickly, with Wilson going back over to left field and Backman probably being inserted at second base.
Especially the later innings.
Bill Doran 4 for 20 with a home run. And hits it sharply underneath the glove of Rafael Santana. Base hit Doran. Doran hitting right-handed, only 1 for 8, but now he's 2 for 9, and the leadoff man is on with Billy Hatcher coming to the plate.
We mentioned the problems in seeing the ball in this ballpark, and that does not only apply to fly ball. The ball goes under the glove of Santana. He missed that ball. He never picked that ball up.
Ojeda's first pitch to Doran was right up letter high, too, and he jumped it. Doran, one of the quicker of the Astros, on the bases. Hatcher, 4 for 18. Slides up, lays it down, and it's fouled away. It's obvious now that Hal Lanier would like to have the early run.
And with as fewer runs that have been scored in this series, I think both teams more apt to go for an early run. You wouldn't do that normally in the season.
Ball hit to the right side. Great play. Hernandez throws the second one. No play at first. What a fine play by Keith Hernandez. And Doran hit the bag very, very hard at second base, but he's all right.
Hernandez makes these plays because he cheats at first base. He doesn't hold the runner on totally. See how he cheats like that? That little extra 2 steps makes it possible for him to make this play. And he makes the throw from his knees. One of the unheralded things about Hernandez, he has as good a throwing arm for a first baseman as I've seen.
Now it's Phil Garner. Garner 1 for 6 in the series. Hatcher at first base has 3 stolen bases in the series. Fastball from Bob Ojeda on the outside corner. These 2 left-handers are remarkably alike in their demeanor. Both calm, quiet men, and both craftsmen at their trade.
I think you picked up on it early. I've never seen the reaction of Bob Nepper. He seems to be much more animated today.
And Ojeda throwing 2 fastballs in a row to Phil Garner comes high with that one to make your count for 1-1. 1 out and Hatcher at first base. Inside corner, 1-2.
That's how Ojeda will keep right-handed hitters honest. He'll bust that fastball in on the hand. And what that does, it makes the change-up much more effective.
18-5 on this season. Came over to the Mets in the trade with the Boston Red Sox that saw a principal figure in that championship series, Calvin Seraldo. Going to Boston. Hatcher goes. Garner swings in the gap. Going through. Going to the wall. Garner turning at third. Coming home. And it's a stand-up double. For Phil Garner and the Astros lead 1-0.
Well, pitching and hitting is a real guessing game. 4 straight fastballs from Ojeda. Phil Garner has hurt Ojeda. He hurt him once in the season with a home run, and he drove in the only run of the game. Both pitches on changeups. Ojeda tries to come inside, and Garner was ready and rifles one to the gap in left center.
And the foot speed of Hatcher, since he was already running, was no reason for even think about coming to the plate because he was easy home. This is Glenn Davis, and he swings on the first pitch and fouls it away. Glenn Davis, in the opinion of some of the watch catcher here as he turns, carrying the gloves in the right hand to protect the fingers, and he is really boiling it, isn't he?
Carrying the gloves and the bacon.
But Davis, in the opinion of some of the coaches and his manager, had been taking too many pitches. And he has come to the plate in this first inning with the idea that if it's in the zone, and particularly if it's a fastball, jump it. Don't take any fastballs.
To watch Phil Garner at second base. He's an excellent base runner. And it looks like the Astros have come out very aggressively. A good time to steal right now.
That ball that has that little screwball action to it, sailing away from the right-handed hitter, and Davis just nipped it. Davey Johnson maybe a little farther forward in the dugout today than would be the norm early on in the ball game. A win for the Mets, and it's over. A win for Houston, and we play tomorrow night in Game 7. 1-2 pitch to Davis. Breaking pitch is low.
The reason it's a better steal situation with a runner at second and 1 out is because base runners will take a chance on making, if it's a good chance, they'll take a chance on making the second out at third, but not the first or third out.
Santana can't get it. Garner turns third. He's coming home. 2-0 Houston. Glenn Davis picks up the second RBI.
Well, Rafael Santana, as you see, This changeup grounded almost into the position, and Santana playing Davis way in the hole. That ball almost a routine positioned ground ball.
So back to the point. In a game like this, position by the player, a half a step here, a half a step there, means so much.
Especially on the rug, because you can't react as quickly.
Kevin Bass, the hitter. Bass 2 for 7, right-handed, 4 for 11, left-handed. Which means he's 6 of 18 in the series. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. As Houston has jumped on Bob Ojeda for 2 runs here in the bottom of the first inning. Balls and no strikes. Reflecting back, too, on the fact that Doran led off with a single. The play by Hernandez at first base has saved the run. Bass walk. Davis the second. The New York Mets